welcome back to my channel, where today I'll be taking this very oversized shirt and editing it into something that I actually want to wear. My sibling actually designed this shirt. They drew the print that's on it and had it printed, but there was kind of an issue with the printing where the sizes are all completely off and the prints are very low down, so I thought I would take it and make it into a t-shirt that I could actually wear. I also thought it'd be fun to film this video just to show how easy it is to edit down a t-shirt. This took less than an hour to do, so it really is a very quick and easy project. If you have any t-shirts that you're not quite sure on, I would highly recommend doing a project like this just to make it something you're actually wanting to wear more. So the first step of this project is to cut out the image. This may seem like it's going to completely ruin the shirt and waste all the fabric, but trust me, it really does work in the end. I left a nice big border around the image just because when I sew it, I don't want it to be too close to the actual print. I want to keep the art exactly how it is right now. And you don't really need sewing scissors for this, especially on a t-shirt which is quite low quality. I use kitchen scissors for all my sewing, so those are the scissors I'm using here. If you have sewing scissors, they're probably going to be better just because they're quite sharp, but honestly any kind of scissors work for this project as long as they're sharp enough to cut through the fabric. The next part of the project was making the shirt a little bit smaller in size, so for this I very simply just went up the size and then down the armhole. If you want a fitted t-shirt, this doesn't necessarily work because it can make the armpits look a little bit weird, so if you want to have it really fitted, I'd recommend taking the sleeves off, sizing down the t-shirt and then putting the sleeves back on. But because I wanted the shirt to be a tiny little bit big on me still, it doesn't really matter that the armpits aren't quite perfect. After drawing those lines, I obviously went onto the sewing machine and I sewed those lines across, and then I cut off the excess off camera just so there wasn't loads of fabric inside the shirt when I'm wearing it, because that can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially around the armpit area. We're now on to the fun part of the project, which is creating the design. So I started off by laying the t-shirt down flat and placing the print exactly where I wanted it to go. I then took some fabric off the bottom of the t-shirt. I didn't really think about where I was cropping it at this point because I'm going to crop it properly later on, but I just wanted some fabric to work with for this section. And then I went about cutting that strip of fabric into little squares and placing it behind the image, filling in the hole left by where it was cut out before, and making kind of a cool design around the outside of it. It's very much kind of a punk aesthetic and I want to do more of it because I feel like it will go really well with my makeup style. It also obviously hides that hole and means that the t-shirt is actually wearable. Without this, there would still be a hole in the t-shirt obviously, but you could definitely hide these patches more than I chose to hide them. For example, you could use the same colour thread for the outside of them as the t-shirt itself, or you could put the print on the back of the t-shirt and make the front of the t-shirt the new back and kind of just have a cutout in the back of the t-shirt if that's your style. I think that would look really cute, but it's definitely not my sort of style. I then started the process of sewing these squares into the t-shirt. I thought this was going to take such a long time. I thought it'd be really fiddly, but quite honestly it was very easy. You just have to be very careful to make sure the shirt isn't hooked up inside the sewing machine at all while you're sewing, because you don't want to sew the front of the shirt to the back of the shirt at all. But with most sewing machines you can just put the rest of the shirt underneath it or push it to the side and it doesn't really get in the way. Another note is I decided to use a zigzag stitch for this. I thought it would just add a little bit of texture and add some interest to the shirt, and I'm really happy I made that decision. I feel like if I'd used a straight stitch it wouldn't look anywhere near as interesting. I also feel like it hides the lines really well. Like when you look at the t-shirt up close, you can't really tell that it's got squares put on top of it unless you look at the inside of the shirt. It kind of just looks like I sewed squares onto the t-shirt, and that's exactly the look I was going for. So again, if you wanted a more hidden look, you could definitely use a zigzag stitch in the same colour as the t-shirt and it would really hide these squares quite well. I was very much impressed with this. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out, so I'm just very happy that I randomly decided to do a zigzag stitch because I was going to go in with a straight stitch and that would have been a mistake. It wouldn't have looked anywhere near as good. As you can see from the footage, I then put the art print on. I decided to do this last just to make sure there wasn't any holes in the t-shirt before adding it in, because if there were holes I'd have to then sew through the print and I really wanted to avoid that at all costs. I really don't want to ruin this print. I think it looks so cute and adorable and it would make me really sad to ruin it. The final step was cropping the t-shirt. For this I just put a t-shirt I already liked the length of on top of it and cropped it across. I feel like it looks really cute this length. I wanted kind of a longer crop t-shirt for this one just because the print's quite long and I feel like it works really well. And this is the final result. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I feel like it came out very perfect for my style. I can wear this all the time now and that makes me really excited. I really like having my siblings' art around me and I think it's really cool to have this piece. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, comment down below what else you'd like me to do, and subscribe as I'm posting 3 times a week for the whole of summer and I'd love to see you again. But until then, bye!